everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started with this card tutorial, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click that bell button to be notified every time I release a new video. Today I want to share with you this new stamp set from the Stamps of Life that will be featured on hsn.com. It is the Penguin and Polar Bear Pudgie stamp and die set, and it comes with a penguin, a polar bear, a winter hat, and the sentiments best friends, hello, let it snow, winter wonderland, and winter vibes. And if you look closely at the best friends and let it snow sentiment, you'll notice that it is an outline rather than a solid black image, which is really neat because you can actually color that in. And I'll be doing that with my card today. So I went ahead and stamped out my images, and I'm going to color them up with my Copic markers. And when you are coloring with alcohol markers, you do need to use a cardstock that is alcohol friendly. So I am using the Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth cardstock, and I stamped them with my Spectrum Noir Finesse ink in Noir Black, which is an alcohol proof ink. And I'm using my C markers, which are my cool grays, to color up the polar bear. So I start with the C4 along the edges, and then I add the C2 to blend out the C4. Then I will come in with the C0 and then the C00 to blend that out. Now when you want an image to look white, I always add a little bit of gray colors to the edges of it. I'm not going to color the whole thing up gray, but I do want to add a little bit of that gray on the edges just so that the image is not completely flat. I do add some of the lighter cool grays in the middle, so I do put the C1 on the edge and then go into my C0 and then the C00 to blend that out. And then I'm just going to repeat the process throughout the entire polar bear. Now I'm going to color up my penguin, and I'm going to start out with my darkest color, which I'm using the C9 all around the edge where the black would be on your penguin. Then I'm going to come in with my next lightest color. I'm going to be using the C7, and I'm just going over that C9, extending out just a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my C6 and do the same thing. So I'm coming over that C7, extending out again just a little bit into that white area to blend that out. And then I'm going to be coming in with my C5, and I'm going to finish it out and fill in the rest of that white area to blend those colors out. And just to make it a little bit darker and bring out more of those color tones, I'm going to go over it again with my C9. So the second time that you go over it, again, it's just going to add more color and make those colors stand out a little bit more. And then just repeat the process with all of those colors that I previously used. I want the inside of that penguin's body to appear white, so just like with the polar bear, I am going to add some of my light gray colors to the inside of that polar bear. So I am coming in with my C1 along the edge, then I will come in with my C0 and blend that out with my C00. If you want to and you're not getting a good blend, you can also get your blender pen and blend out with the blender pen into that white area. I'm going to be using Y24 and Y21 on the penguin's feet. And I'm bringing in YR18 on his beak. And I'm just using the one color there. I'm not doing any blending. And I want to use these same colors in the accessories that came with this set. So I do start out with the YR18, the same color I used for the beak. And then I lead into the YR16 and then the YR14 for the orange in that hat. And then for the green, I start out with the YG09, come in with the YG07, and then YG05. And I really like these orange and greens together. I think that's somewhat of a different color when you are making these wintry cards, and I really think it is going to end up turning out really cute on this card. So again, the same colors there for the actual hat, and then the pom-pom on the end of the hat will be those same green colors. Then I'm going to use the matching dies to die cut those images out. I'm going to be using the snowflake background die from the Stamps of Life, and I'm die cutting that out of a piece of blue foil paper. And when that comes out of the die cut machine, you get your background image and all of these little snowflakes as well that you want to make sure you pop out. Then I'm taking that large rectangular die that also came with the set and die cutting it out of the blue glitter paper. Now this is just some paper that I had in my stash. The Stamps of Life does sell foil and glitter paper, and unfortunately when I made this video I did not have any in my stash to use, so I just took this out of my stash. Be sure to poke all of those snowflake pieces out of that die cut, and you can save those for another project. And then I'm just taking my glue and adhering that snowflake background panel to the rectangular glitter paper that I die cut. And that snowflake panel is going to layer exactly just right on top of that glitter paper because they were both die cut with that same rectangular die. So because I did not put double-sided adhesive on the back of the snowflake die, I do have to make sure that I get on the insides of each one of those snowflakes so that it adheres fully to my background piece. And once that is covered with glue, I just turn that over and press down to adhere these pieces together. And again, just make sure that you press in on each one of those snowflake centers to make sure those pieces stay. I used a cloud border die to die cut another piece of the Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth cardstock, and I stamped out the Let It Snow sentiment on top of my cloud border die. And the reason I used the alcohol proof paper is because I knew I was going to be doing some coloring with my Copics on it, and I wanted to make sure that my ink blended. So I'm using the same greens that I used in the hat, and I am just blending out those colors, those three colors on the Let It Snow words. So again, that's YG09, YG07, and YG05. And then for the word snow, I'm going to take my orange markers, same orange colors that I used in the hat, and I'm going to add the darkest color at the top, which is the YR18. Then I will be coming in with the YR16, and then the lightest orange color, which is the YR14. Next, I'm going to add this cloud border to the bottom of my panel, my snowflake panel. Notice I'm not putting glue all the way at the top on the left side because I know I'm going to stick one of those animals inside behind that cloud border. Now the cloud border, even though I say it's a cloud border, it is a cloud border die, but I'm using it here to represent snow on my card. So any of the excess, I just turn that panel over and I just trim off the excess from that panel. And then I can start to position these animals where I want them to go on this card. So I'm thinking that the penguin is going to go in front, so I go ahead and glue him down to the front bottom right, and he's going to be sitting on top of the snow. And then the polar bear will be sitting behind the snow on the top left. So again, make sure when you're attaching that snow panel, make sure you don't put glue all the way at the top so you can slide him in. And then add the hat And boy, do I love the way this is looking. I'm really loving the green, the orange with that blue background. I think this looks so pretty. And then just attach that entire panel to an A2 size card base. And the A2 size card base is in the powdered sugar cardstock. And an A2 size card base measures 4¼ by 5½. Next, I want to add some glitter to represent snow at the top of this snow border. So I'm just adding some glue to the top portion, just outlining the top of the snow. And then I'm going to take some chunky glitter and I'm just sprinkling it on that glue. And it's going to stick to it and it's going to look like there's just a snow border. It's going to also add some dimension to this card. So I just shake off the excess. And then to finish off this card, I'm just taking my Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen, just outlining those letters. It goes on clear, and I'm just adding it to those letters and to the hat just to add some glitter to those portions of my card. And that completes the card. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you're interested in purchasing these stamps, head on over to the HSN website and do a search for the Stamps of Life, and you should be able to find them. It's the Penguin and Polar Bear Pudgie stamp set. And be sure to subscribe for more card making inspiration. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.